Welcome back. This is part 2. So we inserted the menu bar and we moved down the optional content div container, and we also give the navigation ID some width. And now let's go ahead and start customizing the menu bar. First, let's see the page on the browser. And you'll see here that the menu bar is only filling up half the page, so let's correct that. Now, the best way to deal with that, hold on a second, let me just close some things down here, is taking the time to study your Spry menu CSS. And you'll notice here on the left side, the properties have some clues above them that give you some indication of what these styles affect, and they're listed here accordingly as well in the exact same order. On the right hand side under the CSS styles, you'll see a rather long, intimidating list which is here as well. So there's two ways of looking at this. So if I click on the UL menu LI, you'll notice float, the font size, the text alignment, the width, and this is what we're going to be affecting. Now, two things I want you to kind of think about when you're working with this is that the menu bar, which is here, you'll notice here the tags, the ULs, the LIs, and that'll give you some clue of what these are referring to. So the other thing too is that on top of the list is also reflective of what you see first. So what do I mean by that? So as you're coming down here, if we start right at the top, and we work our way down, what is the first thing you see here on the menu bar? You see dark gray text and a gray background. So as we're working our way down, keep your eye on this side here on the properties. As you're working on the way down, you'll see that the background color appear here, gray and dark text. And so that basically is like the giveaway. You know that since it appears first, since the first thing you see, this is where you would affect this sort of top layer property. So let's go ahead and change that, and you'll see the effect take place. Let's do something like blue, and you see that immediately change. Let's do gray, and there you go. Now, the width, and again, same thing here. Now, when we look at the menu bar here, item 1, item 1.2, item 1.3, those are, I'm looking right here. Let's zoom into that. And what we're looking at here is essentially we're looking at the menu bar for item 1. It has 3 subheads beneath it. And so these subheads we can also customize, as well as the LI for item 1. And that's what we're concerned with right now, is making sure that this stretches across the page. One of the first places you can go, now the width is set to auto. You can change this to 800, but not much is going to happen until you actually affect the LIs, which is right here. And the default setting for those is 8 EM, and with a text alignment on the left side. And again, it's the first one you see, so since this is the first thing you see, this is, again, it's telling you that this is where you would affect, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, since it's very easy to see happen on screen. So you notice that we changed the text alignment from left to center, and here's the important part. To fill the space evenly, we had an 800 pixel wide page, so we have 4 sections, and we divide that by 4, which gives us 200 pixel. And it'll immediately take effect on screen, and you'll notice now that the menu bar fills the space quite nicely. Hit save. Let's go ahead and look at that in the browser. And there we go. So we have the menu items filling the page pretty straightforward. Now let's keep customizing this a bit more. The other one that you will definitely want to affect is the rollover effect. As you noticed from the browser, we had a pale blue rollover effect. So again, here we go. If we work our way down the list, we notice that the hover, focus, and menu bar item hover are identical. They both have the same blue and white font. Actually, these two rules can be combined, but we won't deal with that right now. We'll just change them equally. So let's change this to something more dramatic, to like say a red. And we'll keep the font white, that's fine. So now if we save, we're going to notice the rollover effect change from what was a pale blue to a red. Okay, and that works also for the submenus. Now dealing with the submenus, I'll pull it up here so you can see it. You'll notice that the submenus are, let's go to design view, are smaller. So you can change that. And that's going to be up here, the UL. And again, keep in mind that we're talking about the list items here. So first instance of this is going to appear under UL menu bar horizontal UL. And you'll again notice down here that we have an 8.2 EM default setting. Again, we're going to change that to maybe, let's do 190. And don't forget to change this to PX. And you'll notice now that the border around the sub menu is stretched out. But the background color is still small. So let's keep working our way down, and we'll see here the UL menu bar UL LI. And again, if you look at the code view, split view, we're dealing with the UL LI tags, the UL LI tags. And again, our default setting of 8.2, let's go ahead and again change that to 200 PX. And you'll now notice that the submenus are filling across nicely. And that's going to be for both as well. So if you go under item 3, it has some submenus, and you'll see that those are as well affected. Lastly, there could be some bane of contention with this little arrow, and let me show you how you can manipulate that. Again, you're looking for the first instance of the, which is a little GIF. It's a little GIF animation, not animation, sorry. It's just a little GIF icon that is affected by the rollover. And so again, you're looking for, let me see that. I think that was pretty much the first instance here. Background image, background position. If you look at the properties, I think it'll kind of explain what it is a bit better than its title here. Menu items that have submenu, background image position. So background image position on the far left and centered vertically. Okay, so what does that mean? Let me show you what that means. Let me change the color actually. So let's go back to menu bar item and find the first instance of the dark blue. And I'm only doing this moving our way down just to kind of get you familiar. You'll memorize where these things are eventually, but let's change this color to something a little bit brighter, and you can now see the arrow clearer. And again, here's the first instance of the SpryMenuBar 9550. So what does that mean? Alright, if we think about the left and top side as 0 and the bottom and the right side as 100, this information here is going to make more sense. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If I go 0, you'll notice the arrow fly all the way across the screen to the left side. Now if I come over here and I type in 100, you'll see the arrow fly all the way to the right side. Equally, the 50% means it's in the middle between 0 and 100. So if I type in 0 here, 0 goes to the top. If I type in 100 here, it goes down to the bottom. So again, left top, think of as 0, and right bottom, think of 100. So let's put that arrow back in the middle. So let's do 50% here, and let's do 75 for now. And there, the arrow flies in a pretty decent spot. You also notice the arrow here under item, and again, always know that this is a sort of layered file. So as you're moving down, you'll notice again, here it is again, the 9550, the default setting. So you can pretty much deduce that that is referring to the second instance as it's in its second place in the CSS script. So let's go ahead and see that happen. So 75, and there you go, and set to 50. All right, so that's it. That's a very basic introduction. Obviously, I'm not going to go over the menu bar customization, as that's too easy to really spend any time on. You can obviously customize what's happening here through your properties window down here. You can label your headings here. So first one, home, and accordingly you'll see that change to home. You can add submenus by adding or subtracting them easily with the plus and minus. Let's just take away these guys. And let's say item 3 was a products. You want to label that products. And there you go. All right, well, before we run out of time, I'll stop here. And thanks for watching. Feel free to comment or make further suggestions on how to do things better, or tips on working with the navbar. I will hopefully make another video pretty soon that will show you how to then take this navbar and turn it into a PHP include, which is like a library item component, so allowing you to make site-wide changes by affecting only one file. All right, thanks for watching. Good luck.